getting set up here, and we'll get started in a little bit with a little bit of morning karate stuff that you can do at home. We're not going to do stuff that requires a ton of floor space. So if you're practicing in your room or kitchen or living room, you should be able to practice along with this. Just gonna wait a little bit to give people a chance to get on. Let me see the view that y'all have. I think you can see okay. Well, good morning. It's early. I'm gonna start the day with a little bit of karate, and we're gonna have a focus on kicking today. I'll talk a little bit more about kicking and how that fits into the picture of my martial art, which is Okinawan karate. It's going to be a little bit different than, say, taekwondo. Like taekwondo is very famous for lots and lots of kicking. Muay Thai also has kicking. Karate also has kicking. Those arts all approach kicking a little bit differently. So I'll explain a little bit of that. So we're going to do kicks. Kicks is what we're going to do today. We're not going to punch anything. Let's see. So I don't know if if this is translating everything to Spanish or if you're typing in Spanish. Anyway, it just takes me a second longer to understand what you meant, but I got you. All right. So we're going to do kicks. We're approaching kicks a little bit differently than, say, like Taekwondo would, or even a little bit than Muay Thai would, right? So in karate, there's a couple different approaches. So Okinawan karate tends to be what's called Budo karate, and that means it's not as competition oriented and more focused on if you needed to use it for self-defense, but also like personal development. So we're doing these kicks to train our body, to prepare ourselves, and be equipped with something that could work for self-defense. That's a little bit different than like a karate tournament. So if you do a karate tournament, you're trying to score a point by hitting someone with your kick. If it's karate point sparring. Now, there's also more like the knockdown, full contact karate, and those kicks are going to be a little bit more similar to like a Muay Thai kick. So maybe we could think about that as three different things, like full contact, competition, self-defense, and then you've got your point sparring. Okay, fair enough. All right, so I'm gonna occasionally be staring at the screen for a long time while I figure out what someone's saying. But basically, all the comments for some reason. I wonder if I can change that because that's gonna slow me down a little bit. not going to change it. All right, so the kicks, it would take me too long to figure out because I had to change it, and the phone settings are all set up in Spanish too. So we'll start off with some just kind of getting warmed up a little bit for our kicks, because I'm old enough that if I just do a bunch of kicks with no warm up, then I might hurt myself. All right, so to start off with, this is something you could do walking around, right? You could walk and you can go step, 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 lift up your knee to block, step, 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 lift up your knee like you're blocking with your knee, okay? So you can also do that in place. So if you've got room, you can step, 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 knee up block, step, 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 knee up block. If you're in place, you can step, knee up block, step, 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 block, step, step, block. He's a uke. He's a uke. He's a uke. He's a uke. Step, step, step. 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 He's a uke. You can also bring the knee up to the side. He's a uke. Step, step, step. He's a uke. That's to check the round kick. He's a uke. Step, step, step. 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 He's a uke. He's a uke. He's a uke. So you could jog a little bit like that. You could go jog, jog, boom, boom, boom. So if you're out for a walk or a jog and you're not trying to do full kicks, you could be boom, 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 boom. Or you could skip a little bit with that knee and you go boom, boom. So you kind of do a little hop when you lift up that knee. Boom, 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 boom. So you're picking up your knee, block forward or out. All right. So it's every third count. Yep, I wear glasses mostly for trying to read the comments on here. I usually take the glasses off when I'm doing like a class where people are actually going to be punching me or sparring and stuff like that. But when I'm by myself and nobody's punching me and I can read comments. All right, so the next one we'll do, we can do just a kick off to the side. So if you had space, you could walk with it. You can step, 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 kick, step, step, step. You can do a sokoto geri. Step, 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 sokoto. Step, 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 sokoto. If you're in one place, step, 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 sokoto. Step, 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 sokoto. Step, 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 sokoto. 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 I'm going to move this way. You can see the kick. Oh, I could step. Oh. Move this way. They're trying to adjust to follow me. Oh, and I hit them with the kick. I go this way to circle around them. As they adjust to follow me, oh, I hit them with the kick. Step, 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 kick. Move to the side, 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 kick. You can do the same thing with a front kick. Step, 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 kick. Step, 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 front kick. Front kick. Front kick. My geri. My geri. My geri. My geri. Boom, 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 kick, 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 kick. All right, and then you can do a few just front and back kicks. So without putting your foot down in between, you're just gonna kick forward and then kick back. Put it down, then the other foot. Forward, back, down. Forward, back, and down. Forward, back, down. Forward, back, down. Forward, back, down. Front, back, down. Front, back, down. Front, back, down. Front, back, and down. Do some kicks off to the side. It's just gonna be like a yokogeri. You're just gonna kick, boom, ni, san, shi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, ku, ju, ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, ku, ju. All right. Then we're a little bit warmed up. Let's do some Jodan Maigeri. So kick head level. All right, so head level kick. You do a front kick right to the face. Bring the knee up, push the hip forward, and let the foot extend. And then rechamber the leg, put it down. Knee up, kick the face, rechamber down. Up, kick, down. Up, kick, down. Up, kick, down. Up, kick, and down. Bueno. I just stopped saying stuff in Spanish. Hi. Everybody's commenting on here, but I can't tell who's actually speaking Spanish and who's not. Dang it, I don't know what that means. I need to fix this. Give me a second. All right, I think I fixed it. Type that comment again, because I didn't see it. Hello. That I understood. Understood everything else. I don't know what that means. No, come on, type it again. There was a tricky word in there. It was translating automatically. I fixed it. I can't even see what that thing says. Okay. Oh yeah, like marching. Yeah, that's what happened is they translated that word. I don't know the word for marching. Apparently it's dando. All right. All right, so this time we're gonna extend with the heel and we're gonna kick out. This is gonna be a pretty good stretch for the hamstring. So you're gonna kick kagato geri, my kagato geri. Front heel kick, kagato, my kagato geri, my kagato geri, kagato, 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 kagato. Then we can stomp across, so we can stomp like that. So it's like if we're oriented to somebody like this, and we're stomping across to the knee. So stomp across to the knee, kagato, kagato, kagato. Get the knee up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. All right. Next, we'll do some hizageri. So we're gonna push forward with the knee, kind of a thrust kick with the knee. And this one you would do in, so it depends on your rule set, right? In Muay Thai, you do this from the clinch here, and you could drive in with the knee like that, right? Or you could go to the ribs with it. Boom, and once they're kind of crumpled down, boom, you could go up and hit them in the head. In a real fight, you could go right to the groin. You could throw that knee strike to the groin, and you're right here. You could headbutt them, knee strike to the groin, elbow strike to the face. So that would be an option for you. In some competitions, they may not allow you to grab, so they don't let you have full control of that head. So you might be like here, using your forearms to kind of control and throwing that knee strike. But either way, you're gonna be pushing that knee forward, that way. So I'm gonna forward with the knee. Hizageri, hizageri, hizageri. All right, then you can actually come across with the knee, bring the knee around and hit to the ribs like that. Not a super strong hit. It's just something to hit them with something. Maybe might catch them and hurt them a little bit, wear them down. All right. Let's go over a few kind of practical different mawashi-geri and different stomp kicks, all right? So start with mawashi-geri, and we're gonna start with a mawashi-geri that's kind of, I would say, standard for karate, and that's you're kind of coming up, over, and chopping down. So it's like if I was getting on a bicycle, and I bring my leg up over the seat, that leg's gonna come down. So I'm actually pointing the hip of the knee downward at the end of the kick, so I can chop their leg, their thigh, this way. So I'm here, maybe I threw a hook punch, maybe I smack, maybe I just set it up, I fake something, boom, bring that through and down. All right, so I've got my left foot in front, bring my right knee up, and bring the kick down. Now here, I'm kind of turning my back, so if I continue in motion, I can look back behind me, throw a back kick with the other side, with the other foot. So now I'm gonna put my right foot in front, knee up and chop down, look, back kick with the other foot. Left foot's in front, right leg, migi mawashi-geri, hidari ushiro-geri. Then come through, right foot's in front. Hidari mawashi-geri, look, migi ushiro-geri. Now your hidari ashimai, migi mawashi-geri, hidari ushiro-geri. Through here, migi ashimai, hidari mawashi-geri, migi ushiro-geri. Come through. Then we will try the trauma. All right. Then we're gonna try a straight through kick. Well, yeah, let's do a straight through kick. But let's say there's no difference because you're still turning with this, but you're not gonna chop down into the leg. Usually when you chop down into the leg, you're actually gonna kind of end up like this, and then you're gonna have to throw something off the back foot. If their leg's actually there, you're not just gonna turn all the way through. So maybe for that one, actually, it would have been better. I didn't think about this before, but it would have been better to do that chop to the leg, come here, and then off this other leg, throw a Jodan Mawashigeri, round kick with the other leg. All right, so if you're Migi, right foot's in front, left leg, round kick, chopping down, and then you're gonna kind of just step down into it. So your left foot's in front here, and you're gonna be a little bit off to the side of them. You're gonna bring your right leg up to the head. All right, so right leg, leg kick, boom, step down, left leg, head kick. All right, so right foot's in front, left leg, leg kick, step down, right leg, head kick. Left foot's in front, right leg kick, left head kick. Right leg's in front, left leg kick, right head kick. Indeed. Yeah, I always tell people who do dance and stuff, it's like, hey, you just take what you were doing where you're spinning to look nice, or you're swinging your leg for aesthetics, and you just do it with some violence and some velocity, and you can turn that into movements that can do damage. All right, so now we'll go ahead and do that Ushiro-geri, but we're gonna do it off. This one's more of like a Muay Thai style low kick, Mawashigeri. And this one we're gonna just kick straight through. You're just gonna lead with that hip and swing your leg like it's a baseball bat. Okay, so don't worry about trying to snap the knee or even bend the knee. The knee's gonna kind of naturally bend, but you're just gonna lead with that hip and swing the leg through. And so your right foot's in front, left hip, left leg. Left foot's in front, right hip, right leg. Right foot's in front, left hip, left leg. And you can, if you're shadow boxing, you can just kind of do that by rotating and practice the hip snap. And that's a way to think about like you're kicking. So you might be throwing like a hand technique. So if I'm shadow boxing, don't do this, but if I'm boom, 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 I could simulate like I just threw a kick there because I'm using that hip movement. But if I kick all the way through, whoa, maybe I'm gonna be in position to throw my back kick. All right, so my right foot's in front, left leg, sorry, I did a downward kick. Left leg through kick, right leg back kick. All right, left foot's in front, right leg through kick, left leg back kick. Right foot's in front, left leg through kick, right leg back kick. Tierra moto. All right. Am I creating one? I understood the between the lines there. Tierra moto is earthquake. All right. So next thing we're gonna do is just a kick. It's a round kick, but it's gonna come more up because the idea is that we don't want to turn, right? So some of these were ending up turned completely sideways, and then we have to fight back to get squared up again. We like to live here. For self-defense, we like to live here where we're, more square with our opponent. I can use both of my arms and get those involved, grab a hold of my opponent. I can use both arms, both legs are in front. Once I end up here, my opponent kind of has me flanked, and it's hard for me to stop them from advancing forward it's kind of crashing in on me. So a lot of times what I might do instead of rotating all the way through is I might throw even a leg kick. It's going to be more up, and it's going to kind of slap. But what that allows me to do, it doesn't have as much power. It doesn't have as much power. It's not going to smash their leg or cave their knee in, but it is going to allow me to hit them while maintaining all my weapons and everything oriented forward. So my left foot's in front, kind of kick, round kick. Left foot in front, right leg round kick. Left foot in front, right leg round kick. Left foot in front, kind of kick more up, but at the angle. So I'm not going to turn that foot through as much. Boom. All right, so my right foot's in front. Yeah, you feel like you should be able to take advantage because they're throwing that round kick. So you're like, oh, maybe I can push in on them. But when I throw that kick, everything's still right here, right? So you can't just come in. But it's also a way that you can toughen up your sparring partner's legs without wrecking their knees, because you're not kicking them all the way through, you're just kicking up into it. So right foot's in front, throw that kick, wash Shigeri up to the leg, but not turning, just kind of an upward angle kick. Okay. So let's see, we got a comment on here. I'll address it. So somebody says the belt means nothing. That is kind of true. I guess belts are used to differentiate the different students in the class, right? So if I have a group of students, and it doesn't matter as much in a really small class, because in a really small class, I know everybody's level. When you're in a big seminar or a tournament and you're deciding who goes against who, that's when you use the belts to match people up together. So instead of having somebody who is a professional fighter level skilled person fighting somebody who's new hobbyist who has only been doing it for a couple months, you categorize people by belt so they're not going against each other. Also, it lets you know what material people know. So it doesn't mean much, like if I see someone with a black belt and I don't know what style they practice, I don't know what material they know, but I know that they must have been practicing for a little while at least. They're probably not brand new. If it's someone who I see in my style that has a black belt, I know they at least know a certain number of katas and they've learned a certain number of techniques. So I can use that as a baseline to be like, okay, where are they at? They should know this information. So I can build on that and I can teach them accordingly. So that's kind of what the belts mean. It's a teaching tool. It's a progress and personal development tool. It's a way to keep people leveling up, right? If you're playing a video game, you get a certain number of points, you level up your character. And in life, it's kind of like that too, right? You level up, you get your degree, you get a certification, you get a certain number of years of work experience and stuff like that. But just like in life, degrees don't necessarily equal competence, right? So what you want is, yes, you need certain levels of degrees and belts to measure people's progress and help them to keep moving and to figure out who goes with who and what they know. But it's up to you to be competent. That's not on anybody else. That's your responsibility. So if and it's up to me, like if I'm giving people belts, I don't want to, I'm not giving away belts. I expect competence. And so to me, it is kind of something that does mean something. But it doesn't necessarily mean anything intrinsically, right? All right. So we were doing that little kick. This time we're going to do stomp kicks to the knees. So we're going to go with the left foot's in front here. And let's say this one, you can kind of do against either knee, no problem, right? So if they've got their left leg in front, I'm going to stomp their left knee. If they have their right leg in front, I'm going to stomp their right knee. All right, so it's going to just be a Sokatogeri. It's going to be to that front leg. I'm going to kick, and I can use that to set up combinations, right? So I'm just going to stomp kick. And you kind of want to do that fast. I guess you want to be here, throw that kick fast here, kick fast here, kick fast to the knee. But you can either kick fast as like a probing, like you're throwing a jab, or you can push your hip into it. It depends on if you think that you really have it or not. If you think you can really take out their knee, then put everything into it. If you're just trying to close the distance, you can just throw that as kind of like a jab, boom, and then use that to close the distance as you move in with your hand techniques. Then your right foot's in front, just throw some jabbing knee stomps. Now let's say that you can see they put their weight on the leg. They're not going to move it in time. You see the opportunity, take out the knee. They're here, push the hip in, take out the knee. All right. Yes, I am sure your friend was nothing compared to your skill. So, I don't know your friend. Like, what was your friend a black belt in? Was your friend halfway athletic? Because you can get people who are there's people in wheelchairs who have significant disabilities, or really elderly people or young kids who get black belts. But there's also, like, if you had a prodigious athlete, tough guy who comes to your martial arts school and he trains for a while and he gets a black belt, it's going to be different, right? All right. So this time, we'll do stomp kicks. So instead of the Sokatogeri, we're gonna go Kagatogeri with the heel this way. So, but I'm gonna do off the front foot. So I've got my right foot in front, Kagatogeri. And I think this matches up better if you're kind of toe to toe with them. So they've got if I've got my right foot in front, they've got their left foot in front. That works a little bit better for me, because I don't like to reach across this way to stomp the knee. You can, but this is kind of an awkward situation if they're coming forward. And then our friend in the comments might get you on the ground if you put yourself in that vulnerable position. All right, so your right foot's in front. You're just gonna stomp kick to the knee. All right, so you're here, stomp kick. And you don't have to move much. That's one thing I like about this. You're right here, boom. You can just throw that stomp kick to the knee, and that can be something that, they're coming in to hit you. Suddenly their knee kind of gets pressed backwards. They're like, whoa, and then they get punched, right? You can stomp kick here, boom, throw your punch. Stomp kick to the knee. Stomp kick to the knee. And look at how little I'm having to move my body to adjust to that. So I'm not compromising my balance or my positioning. Right, then I put my left foot in front, stomp kick to the knee. Kaga togeri. Kaga togeri. Kaga togeri. So I don't lose anything by doing that. It's if I do a push, like a Muay Thai teep, front kick type, where I'm kicking in, that's a lot of commitment, and they could push my leg away, or I could end up overextending and falling forward. This one is just a quick, like that. So I can throw that, step in, and then do some stuff with your hands. Or, boom, stomp here, kick with the back foot. All right. So either side, you can do those stomp kicks. You can also stomp kick off the back foot, but I like to set that up with hands. So if you spar me, you might notice maybe I'm throwing some techniques here. You've got your hands up like they're supposed to be. I might grab the hand that's there and then stomp kick to your knee. So I'm here, boom, stomp kick to the knee. So left foot's in front, bring the right leg, stomp kick to the knee. Left foot in front, right leg kick. Left foot in front, right leg kick. Left foot in front, right leg kick. And try the other side. Right foot in front, left leg kick. Right foot in front, kaga togeri. Right foot in front, kaga togeri. Right foot in front, kaga togeri. All right. Should do a few squats, huh? Because the push-ups, let's take a break from the push-ups. Let's do a few squats. So we can do let's do 15, right? At your own pace. You don't have to wait for me or worry about getting ahead of me. All right. So you got 15 of those. Then we'll put together some, well, let's do a few more individual things. So we're just gonna do a circle kick. So not a round kick where you're leading with your shin or the top of your foot, but a circle inside, like crescent kick. So the inside crescent kick, we're gonna bring our leg more straight and around like this. I'm not really gonna kick somebody with my leg straight like that. Probably what's really gonna happen is I kick, like I bring it up like this, and then I extend it and follow through like that. So there is gonna be a little bit of a snap to it. But for the purpose of just practicing, you can bring it around straight and circle. Right foot's in front, left leg inside. Left foot in front, right leg, circle kick. Right leg in front, left leg, circle kick. Left leg in front, right leg, circle kick. Right leg in front, left leg, circle kick. Now let's try a few where you kind of snap it a little bit. So this is probably going to be more useful in sparring. So you kind of bring it up as if you were going to do like a round kick, but then end up with the toes up, and you're going to end up kicking like that at the end. So it comes here, 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 boom, boom, boom. All right, so left foot's in front. So left foot's in front. I'm gonna bring the kick up, circle. Right foot in front, up, kind of snap it a little bit. Left leg in front, circle, snap. Right leg in front, circle, snap. All right, you can do the same thing outside crescent. So you can bring the leg straight. So left foot's in front, outside crescent. Right foot's in front, outside. Left foot's in front. And I would call that wa soto geri. So the first one I'd call wa naka geri. And this one I call wa soto geri. So circle, outside kick. Left foot's in front, right foot kick. Right foot's in front, left foot kick. Now, again, a little bit better for sparring is you kind of hook that and snap it a little bit. So in that one, you are bringing the leg up a little bit bent until it gets to the top, and then you kick. All right, so right foot's in front, bring the left leg up, it's kind of bent a little bit, and then it kind of snaps. Left foot's in front, right foot kick, right foot's in front, left foot kick. All right. Let's do a few more squats. Let's do 15. Ready? How'd you make 15 squats? All right. Next thing I want to do is talk a little bit about putting together some kicks. And this is going to be more for like a point sparring type scenario. So there's a few kicks that you can do. Your point sparring, you're probably going to want to orient yourself a little more sideways, like this. Some people go complete sideways like this. That's kind of more a taekwondo style. I would say karate style. A little bit more like this. But still, sideways gives you some strategic advantages in minimizing your opponent's scoring area for sparring, right? They can't score on your, like full on your spine here. So if you turn away and throw a kick, they're limited in where they can score. They can't kick your leg, so if you lean back, you're taking the scoring area away from them, right? So that's part of why we kind of stand like that. And you don't want them to, like this is such a big like scoring target, so you don't want to come lunging in with your punch and have all that exposed for their kick. Because when it's a game of range, the longer weapon wins, right? In real life, I could tighten my stomach. They kick me here. They're on one foot. They hit my stomach. Nothing happens. Maybe I get a hold of that foot, or maybe I just keep moving forward. And then our friend who is wrecking black belts right and left. I know, right? But I will say this. All right, I'm gonna go on a side trail here. So, what I notice at my age and phase here is when I get my leg kicked, a lot of times from an angle, I can structurally hold it still and like the muscles get tough. But every time it hits my leg, there's a little bit of like forces that are going into my knee. Even though my knee is holding still and not moving, those forces are still going into my knees. And I don't think I have those things called meniscus anymore. I think those are gone. Cartilage, some of it's probably gone. I take a joint supplement every day. So I can tell you that my enthusiasm for kicking people's legs is significantly higher than my enthusiasm for competing with somebody who's allowed to kick my legs at full power. So I think in that situation, I can take full, yeah, they did. They went on strike. They were like, this is enough. This is enough. We don't like the way that you are treating us. and they left. But it's one thing, like, taking some kicks in the dojo and stuff like that. But in a competition where, you get incentivized to knock someone out and that makes you win, you're putting everything into those kicks. So you're really trying to like kick their leg so hard that it just takes out their leg, damages it, and they can't stand anymore, and then you win. So to go against someone my own size, my own level, who kicks as hard as me, who is motivated to take my leg completely out, even if I win that fight, but let's say they kicked my leg 5 times like that, I could have some damage that probably isn't going to be repaired. So I understand that rule. I didn't used to like it when I was younger. I did not like the rule about not kicking the legs. I was like, just toughen up your legs, like, what's the big deal? Now that I'm a little older, I'm like, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense that people don't want their knees wrecked. Yeah, fair enough. Yes, you should learn how to take the leg kicks. Yes, you should do some sparring that includes leg kicks. No, it's probably not the best thing for your health to go into a full contact fight where people are teeing off on kicking your knees, or your knee, your thigh, everything as hard as they can, because that's probably going to give you some damage. Even you win, you might take damage. And what's the point of that? Like, you get what? A gold medal, a trophy, a belt, and then you have 5 years less of knee life expectancy to walk around with your grandkids someday, So priorities. All right. I'm going to come back to exactly. Gold medal and chronic arthritis, early knee replacement, hip replacement. It's, maybe you can't go to work for a while. Who knows? All right. So I'm going to just cover this. We're just about out of time. One thing to think about for like a point sparring using some of these kicks, all right? This is not my original idea, but kind of people's go-to might be the side kick, right? Oh, you do your side kick, you do your round kick this way for the tournament, and maybe a hook kick. So we practice a little bit of the hook kick, not really my forte, but the hook kick coming this way, right? So one of the things that you want to think about is making those all look like it's the same kick that's coming. So you could have your right foot in front, come here, and this position could be the start of a side kick, it could be the start of a round kick, or it could be the start of a hook kick. And so if you can make that chamber look the same or close to the same for all of those kicks, it's going to be harder for your opponent to get a read on what's coming. And so they're standing here and they don't know if you're going to round kick them in the stomach, hook kick them in the kidney, or side kick them in the ribs, or if you're the opposite way oriented, round kick them in the stomach, hook kick them in the kidney, or side kick them in the ribs. Right, they don't know which of those is coming. If it's a head level kick, they don't know if they're protecting their head. They don't know if it's going to come on this side of their guard, or this side of their guard, or coming right down the middle. So it could be the side kick, it could be a round kick, or it could be a hook kick. And the more you can make those look like it's the same thing that's coming, the harder it's going to be for them to react to that. So something to think about. All right, I got to go for now. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Hopefully the training gets you going the right way and legs are feeling good and you can practice some of those kicks.